would now like to call up the Education Department and SMOHIT, Chris Carlough, Randy Krocka.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to show that very powerful video. And I think that if it would be okay, I'd like to forego some of the traditional introductions and just refer to everybody in the room this morning as brother and sister, sister and brother. I think that when it comes to the entertainment industry, the music industry, over the last few years, they've had some devastating losses. Some very well-known, talented musicians have died. And I really need to point out that our industries, the transportation industry, the construction industry, has had more than our fair share of devastation. And I kind of like, if you would, the sisters and the brothers in the room, and I'm referring to our friends and our family in the back, the elected delegates, and our elected leadership up front. Let's just illustrate this just for a moment. Over the last few years, if you know someone who's died by suicide, please stand. Remain standing. If you know somebody that's struggling with substance use disorder, drug and alcohol, process addictions, we're talking about anything from eating disorder, gambling, anything like that, internet, please stand. Any other mental health issues, dual diagnosis, depression? Okay, so just take a moment. Take a look around the room right now. This is the overwhelming challenge that we have as an organization. Our brothers and our sisters, our family members. When Joe Sellers, and please sit. Thank you. Man, that is something. You know, Joe Sellers a couple of years ago had talked about this issue, and he referred to mental health, drug and alcohol, suicide as this generation's health and safety crisis. And it is. I mean, here's a number for you. I'm not going to throw a lot of numbers, but here's one. In 2017, the CDC, they issued a report. And for the ways that people can die in construction, so struck bys, caught in betweens, electrocution, and falls. In 2017, we had 5,000 construction workers die on the job. In that same year, 9 times that number took their life by suicide. 9 times. And so we have our members that are going on the job site. They're on the equipment, they're in the yards, they're in the shop, and they're dying inside, you know. And they wait and they get off the job. We just hear story after story. And so, you know, we wanted to illustrate this problem because we all know it. We all know what's going on. There's a really strong connection between addiction and suicide, and there's a strong connection between the injuries on the job site, the opioids. All of this stuff is tied in together. And so this has been, you know, just really briefly. Some of you in here know me. Some of you know that I'm in recovery. For a lot of you who don't know, I've been in recovery from drugs and alcohol pretty much my whole adult life. In fact, I turned 21 in rehab. not the type of birthday I thought I was going to be having at 21. And so why do I do that? Why do I share with everybody here that I'm in recovery? One of the things that we're going to talk a little bit about is this peer training program that we're going to be putting together that we are actually launching in a few weeks in Denver, Colorado. And so we've been doing a lot of training around our elected and appointed people. We've been in front of coordinators and instructors, agents, managers, organizers. We've been in front of some of our membership. And now we're launching into that next level. We've got 4 different local unions, and we'll talk about it, I believe, in the report that I'll do after. But it's really important for me because what we're looking to do is we're looking to have our members identify themselves as peer people, as peer support. And with that comes a little bit of a vulnerability. And so I'll take some of that on myself and share a little bit about myself here with you. So one of the opportunities that I've had this past couple of years, though, is getting an opportunity to work with this fellow behind me who's going to talk to you in just a moment. And Randy Krocka is a big heart guy, and I love working with him. He's got a couple of new people over the last few years that he's hired. They've got a great team over at SMOHIT, and the education department and SMOHIT have joined together. We're doing these trainings. We're putting together peer training. We have a whole group of mental health professionals. You know, one of the things that we'll talk to the people in our Smart Map training is, do not Google treatment center in your area if you're looking to send somebody to treatment, because some of the worst actors in the industry, the real bottom feeders, they pop up. And so one of the things that we're going to ask you, because we can't do this alone, and a lot of you are already out there in your local unions working and doing this work, and we thank you. And you standing up, standing up for your membership, not only in this room, but when you go back. We want you to, if you haven't, kick the tires of your EAP programs, your employee assistance programs. Sometimes we've made arrangements with EAPs 10, 15, 20 years ago, and we haven't really gone back around. Find out who they are, who those representatives are. We want you to also check out which treatment centers you're using. And if you don't know, give us a call, because we have some of the best in the business. For those of you who have not been to one of our trainings, I will say that I may not be the best instructor for sure, but I know good people, and I know good, talented people, and we have them. We have some of we have, without a doubt, the absolute best suicide prevention person in the country. We've got a weed guy, you know, someone who's an expert on marijuana and some of the testing. Not the weed guy you might have had in high school, but this is a different one. But really talented people, and we talk about this stuff. So do these things when you go back home, and we're gonna work on this together. Like I mentioned, we'll have peer training coming up in 4 different locations. We're looking to do a lot more to cover more people, but we really want to make sure that the programs we're building are solid, that they're connected to strong mental health resources, and people are well trained, just like we do in the skills side of our house. So that's enough out of me for this particular piece. Randy, let me turn it over to you, and you can tell them a little bit about the integration between us and SMOHIT and some of the things that we've been doing. A great partner, a great friend. Randy.
Thank you. I'm not going to take a lot of time right now, but I just wanted to mention how proud I am of this union and our leadership and Joe to bring this part of what we do. We take care of each other. And Joe read the numbers that we have. I just want to let you guys know too, and you've seen these cards I've had out. We have some wallet cards for you, and just so you know, everyone who contributes to SMOHIT, we've sent out 150,000 cards to your locals this week, so they'll be there when you get home. But they have our helpline number on there, as well as the suicide lifeline number. So thanks again, Joe. Thanks for those resolutions to get to the Smart Map classes. We really appreciate it. It's going to help your members, and it's going to help you and your families. Thank you.